In this session, we are going to get introduction to Python. We are going to learn what is Python and what can Python do and where is Python mostly used. So let's get started with Python. So what is Python? Python is a high-level interpreted programming language that is widely used in different places. Python can be used in web development, can be used in scientific computing, machine learning, among other important fields. So where can you use Python? Why Python? Why do we need to learn Python? Python is easy to learn. Python is versatile. Python has a large community, means when we get an error or when we get a bug, we have a lot of people using Python. They can help us debug our code. Python has plenty of libraries depending with what we are trying to achieve. Python is compatible in different platforms. Can be used in web, can be used in scientific, can be used in different operating systems such as Windows, macOS, Linux, and other different platforms that Python can be used in. So in Python, we have basic concepts that you have to know, that you need to have in mind. For example, when you are learning Python, you need to understand variables. What are variables in general? Variables in any other programming language, the concept will remain the same. So in programming, a variable is just like a container or a memory storage that holds a certain data. And this data can be either a type of a number, can be a type of a string like your name, can be anything. So a variable can hold any type of a data. For example, we have been given an example here. A number. Number is the variable, and the data that is being held in that number is 10. So we have a variable, then we have the value of that variable or the data that has been assigned to that variable. So here the number is a variable that is storing the value 10. So we have another example here on how you can assign multiple variables, multiple values. So we have A, B, and C, in which A, it has been assigned to 5, B is equal to 4.5, then C is equal to hello world. So that's how you can assign a variable or multiple variables to multiple values inside one piece of code. So we have different rules of naming variables. So what are these rules? What should we have in mind when we are naming our variables? Very simple. We need to understand the naming ways. For example, we have the snake case, macro case, camel case, and the caps one. So these are the basic rules that you have to name variables. We should have in mind that Python is case sensitive. So num in small letters is not the same as the second num here in uppercase. So these are different variable names. So that means Python is case sensitive. So we have defined all those different types or different ways of naming variables. So let's get into another example here of data types in Python. So what are data types? In any programming language, data types specify the type of data that can be stored inside the variable. So we have the type of data that is being stored. So that's what we call a data type. For example, number 24 is an integer type of data type. So we have other different data types that we have. So in number or in numeric data types, we have 3 different data types. So we have the int. The integer means non-limited length. That is 25. It's an integer. It's a whole number. Float is a number with a decimal point. Like 15.6 is a float numeric data type. Then we have the complex data types, like for example in our example over here, num3 is equal to 1 plus 2j. That's a complex data type. And these kind of complex data types are mostly used in scientific things or in scientific calculations. We have another different data type in Python that is called list type. So in a list type, this is how you differentiate a list type. In a list type here, the first thing that you have to distinguish, a list type uses a square bracket to have that list. So a list is an ordered collection of similar or different types that are separated, of course, with a comma. So how can you access any item in this particular list? Very simple. This is how you do it. Take, for example, we have the languages, that is the variable, then we assign to these different types. So how do we first count in programming before we access our list? Very simple. We use indexing and we start from index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to the last value, all the way to the last index. That's how we access our indexing. So in our list here, we have 0 in index 0, index 1, index 2. So how do we access that? We print the language variable, then we specify the index of that variable. So in our case here, we are going to get the output as Python because it's index 0. So what if we started counting from the right? From the right, it starts from -1. So this one is -1, -2, -3 because we don't have -0. That means if we count from left to right, we are counting in a positive order. If we count from right to the left, that means we are counting in a negative way or in a negative order. So let's check another data type in Python, that is a tuple. A tuple is also an unordered sequence of items that are similar as a list. But the main difference between a list and a tuple is that a list is enclosed inside our brackets or parentheses. So how do we access a tuple? For example, let's define a tuple here, product, and assign it to Microsoft, Xbox, and the value or the price. Then we print out the product, then we access the index as well. The same way that you access a list is the same way that you access a tuple. The last one that you are going to check is the string data type. So in the string data type, this is how you write it. It's just a sequence of characters. Variable name, then we assign it to value Python. Then we just access the variable name. Then another example, we write a message as the variable. We assign it to this list. Then we print out the variable name. So thank you for watching this tutorial. I hope you have learned. Feel free to give out your feedback and see you in the next one, that is the continuation of different data types. See you in the next one.